she's sitting down by herself or with her friends. That's what Sayo says. Sayo says. Have you heard what Sayo says? Whether she's sitting down by herself or with her friends, that's what Sayo says. Let's give it up. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Sayo Says. I'm Sayo, just a little older. You may have seen my face online.
You are too horny. Yes, that's what I said, and I meant what I said. You're too horny. Every day, yash. Breast. Boys. Girls. You are too horny. You don't know that's like a prostitutionalizationalism. Ism. That's what you are doing when you are too horny. You are too horny. Be coming down now. Be coming down.
I've given you some funny meme. Apparently, some of you have turned me into a meme. You've turned me into a laughing stock on the internet. You are using my face in the comment section of your TikTok videos. You're sending them to your friends, and you're turning me, Auntie Sade, into a joke. Do I look like a bumble clock to you? And that's the problem with the youth of today. You don't have any manners. You don't have any manners. Somebody cannot go onto the internet without seeing her face in the comments. You've used me as a... Hey, guys. It's so hard to stay serious. Do you know what? I thought, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to do an episode dressed as Auntie, and she's going to be slipping in and out. The spirit of Auntie Sade will be slipping in and out as I do the episode. But I just thought, yeah, my representation, get me extremely African. Extremely African. Hint. Joke. Anyway, hello and welcome back to Sayo Says. I am your host, Adesayo Talabi, but you can call me Sayo. I am Sayo. Do you know what? Yeah, I love my name. I really do. I remember when I was younger. I think this was. Story time with Sayo. Yeah, girl. Story time. I remember when I was in maybe like year 3 or year 4 or something like that, right? And there was this one day in school where we had, I think it must have been like Black History Month, right? There was this collective that came to my primary school. So there was this collective that came to my school, and like I said, it was during Black History Month, I think, and it was this man I will never forget. He asked me, "Oh, what's your name?" And I said, "Oh," obviously as the little African girl that just came from Nigeria a year or two before. I was like, "Oh, hello, my name is Adesayo." So I was like, "Oh, what's your name?" I said, "Oh, my name is Adesayo." And then he was like, "Oh, what does it mean?" Bro, I got existential. I was like, I don't know. What does my name mean? I don't know. What does my name mean? All these questions. I don't know what my name meant. I had never thought that my name had a meaning. Obviously, I was a child, I'd never conceived of such, because all I know is my name is Adesayo, and I was even thinking like, at what age was I when I knew my mummy's name? Because that's just mum. That's just mum. But I think I remember the first time I actually figured out my mum's name, right? I think I was looking through, I must have seen it on a letter or something. And it was Mrs. Miriam, blah, blah. I was like, oh, that's my mum's name. I think I must have been like 7. What age were you when you learnt your parents' name? Because I think I was like 7 or 8. Why do I need to know their name? I never call them by their first name. There's just mum. It's just mommy. Mommy? Dog mom? Mamacita? Mommy? Mamacita? Love Island. Oh my gosh. Do you know what? No, listen, the gist of Love Island is crazy. The last season 7 of Love Island USA has my gilly, by the way. I hope it's not lifting, is it? Okay, lovely. Because I hope you'd tell me if my gilly is starting to starting to do continental drift and just shift back. Anyway, Sha, Love Island USA. How many tangents have I gone on? We were talking about my name. Oh, gosh, man. I don't know how you guys watch. I don't know how you guys watch a full episode and have a coherent understanding of what I'm talking about. Because even, child, I'll be jumping back. I'll be jumping. Anyways, I got existential. I was like, oh my gosh, I've never thought about the meaning of my name. I didn't even know that my name had a meaning. So, obviously, as any curious child, I was a very curious child. And because I was a curious child, I grew to be a curious adult, very curious. And my curiosity was not dulled out of me. So when I couldn't give him an answer as to what my name meant, because I didn't know what my name meant, I went home and I asked my parents. I was like, oh, Mom, Dad, what does my name mean? And then they're like, well, your name means crown of happiness, or the crown rejoiced. And so I was just like, oh, okay. That's so pretty. That's so beautiful. And so it literally became my identity. Like, I started to identify so much with my name. And so that's why I love my name so much. Like, because in Yoruba culture, in a lot of African and indigenous native cultures, etc., naming is very, very important, right? In the sense that a lot of cultures see naming a child as giving the child its destiny, essentially. So naming is very, very important, right? Like my dad is very creative with the names. He's the one that named, that gave most of the names. My mom was like, look, you're better at this naming thing. So my mom was just like, please, I did all the work of creating the children cell by cell, because women do more than just carry the child. Women build that child from cell on a cellular level, right? Anyways, so my mom was like, oh, you just name. So my dad was very creative with the names, right? So when I found out that my name was Crown of Happiness, I, with my, my childlike brain, I then got existential part 2. I was like, oh my gosh. So what's my name now? So if my name in Yoruba is Adesayo, okay, so should I start introducing myself in the UK as Crown of Happiness? I didn't understand how my name could have a meaning. You know what I mean? Because what do you mean my name has a meaning? And obviously because I didn't have that understanding of culture and linguistics and etymology and all these things, obviously I was a child, like what? So I didn't know. So for the longest time, for maybe I don't even know how long, maybe like a month or 2. I was like, this was, mind you, I was in I was in this state of not knowing who I was, feeling like my parents had been lying to me all this time, because apparently my name is now Crown of Happiness. And I was just like, well, that's a mouthful. I remember this thought so clearly. I was like, well, that's a lot to have to say. Like, do I introduce myself now as Crown of Happiness? Because obviously, as a migrant coming from Nigeria. Sorry, we're not migrants. We're expats. Actually, we're expats because there is that racial undertone, isn't there? When people say migrant, every other people are migrants, but white travelers and migrants are expats. Interesting. That's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting, isn't it? Right? Anyway, so when I expatriated to the UK from Nigeria, I'm gonna marry a Nigerian and you're gonna wear a getaway to my wedding. I love that means so bad. Anyways, when I expatriated to the UK from Nigeria, obviously I knew that things were going to have to change. Obviously people are speaking English. I'm hearing English a lot more than I was hearing in Nigeria, right? So I thought that the transliteration of my name was what I was supposed to go by in the UK now. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, so does that mean that only in Nigeria I am Adesayo, but in the UK and English speaking countries, obviously like UK because that was my context, but in the UK I'm Crown of Happiness, but that doesn't seem like that's what I was thinking because obviously I was a child. Obviously I understood it better later, right? But I just love my name. I just think it's gorgeous. And I was at an event not too long ago hosted by one of my friends, Bissy Atkins. Absolutely stunning woman, by the way. She's so kind. She's so, she just has the most nurturing and most, just warm and inviting aura. Bissy, I don't think I've ever said this to you. I'll probably send you a DM after this video. But, her aura is so, inviting and warm, and her voice is like silk. Anyways, let me stop fawning over Bissy. So, I went to her event for her platform called, I think, All Things Africa. And there was a little quiz segment of the evening whereby we were asked questions and tasked with discussing further. So when the host got to my table, the question was, how do you feel about Africans naming their children English names instead of African names, cultural names for employment? Something along those lines. Or when at home you're Benga, but at work you're Ben. Benga to Ben. My brother, come on, man. Come on, man. That's why I'm so particular about my name, because my name is too sweet. My name is sweet now. Sayo. Oh, my leg is even shaky. Ooh, Sayo. Oh, Sayo. Ooh. I just love my name, man. So the conversation, the question was, how do you feel about people changing their names in corporate settings? That was the question. I'm paraphrasing, right? But that was essentially the essence of the question. And it was one of those things where I was just when something has been discussed so much that it's okay, what is that? Do what you want, man. Do what you want. You being in that situation, and especially when people butcher your name constantly. See, the Yoruba phonetics is set up in a way that it is it's very plosive. Very plosive. Plosive words are plosive letters are like b, k, p, t, p, p, pl, p. Just think of plosive, explosive, the pa, pa, pa. So we have in the Yoruba alphabet GB, which is pronounced ba. Ba. You can imagine how many non-Yoruba speakers bite their tongue and wound themselves when trying to say ba. It's it's like, it's okay, Joe. Please, don't hurt yourself. Some words just don't form well in certain people's mouths, especially if there is that cultural difference. Obviously, your muscle is not trained to move in a way that makes it easy to speak, to say the word, right? So we have GB, which is bah, and then we have P, which is that's my personal favorite. P is my why do I keep saying so one wicked soul from my village is trying to undermine me. You will never prosper. You will never prosper. Trying to undermine me and choke me up. You can never. Anyways, so P is pronounced ba. Right? It's like ba, ba, ba. Right? It's like pint. Ba, ba. Listen, so many people struggle with the pronunciation of. You know what? Yeah, even me, I'm struggling because this lipstick is so sticky. I'm trying to say ba, 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 and the lipstick. Let me stop because that's crazy. Anyways, so P is my personal favorite, right? Because I like to Yorubaize English language. I do. If you're familiar with my content and my work, with, like my poetry and, pints and nika and pints. Yeah, you knew what was coming up. You've been here before. So if you're familiar with my work, pints and nika and pints, pints and nika and pints, pints and nika and pints, pints and nika, pints and nika, pints and nika, pints and nika.
Stop and consider that maybe the reason your messages fail to deliver is because she saw your ass crack as you stepped out of the car. That was one step too far. Bunda. Baby got back, he's thicker than a snicker. Oh yeah, pull up your pints and fasten your knicker. Pints and knicker, knicker and pints. A man with his crack out. Ew! I just can't.
It's just fun. Like, I just feel like we should have fun with words. And so the story of the meaning of my name was like, it literally opened my mind to the concept. It literally exploded my mind. I was just like, wow, like, imagine being a child and like realizing that, oh, my name has different meanings. My name has it. Like, that's crazy to me. And so because I was so blown away by that and fascinated by that, I quite literally think that is the origin story of why I love linguistics. And I'm a poet. I'm a spoken word artist. Again, if you're new here, babes, it's okay. But in case you don't know, I'm a spoken word artist. I'm a poet. Okay, baby? I'm a poet. And so I incorporate Yoruba, which is obviously is my culture. I just love it. Do you know what I mean? I incorporate Yoruba into my work because it's who I am. Like, my culture has such a massive role to play in my sense of humor because Nigerians are terrible people. Nigerians are not good people. Nigerians are not good people. Listen to me when I tell you that Nigerians are not good, especially the men. I know they're going to come and they're going to be in my comments at my DM saying, oh, what do you know? Oh, shut up. Yeah, sure. Rubbish. I know they're going to be there, jobless bunch, especially the Twitter silly billies. Anyways, Nigerians are not good people. Right? But I love... So there are so many things about my culture that I absolutely love because it informs so much of my identity. My sense of humor is informed by my culture, by being born in Nigeria and living in Nigeria until I was 5 years old and before I moved to this country. And so many of the cultural nuances are obviously ingrained in me, right? And it's just... Obviously, we when it comes to culture, you have to pick and choose what part it is you want to keep and what part you do not want to continue. and you don't want to perpetuate. There's a lot of things in Nigerian cultures, more specifically Yoruba culture, because Nigeria is a very, very diverse country, right? With hundreds of ethnic identities, like hundreds of languages as well. My goodness. So because so much of my identity, so much of my, my sense of humor is informed by it is just, I incorporate it naturally. It can't be divided. Do you know what I mean? So when I started poetry, which is my satirical, for those who are new here, poetry is literally satirical poetry. And the KP, again, remember when we were talking about the Yoruba phonetics and GB ba, P ba. So instead of it being poetry, it's poetry because there's satire in it. There's comedy in it. And I incorporate a lot of my cultural identity into it. I've done pieces, we'll find some clips. I've done pieces as my auntie character, I've done different perspectives from her, and it's just fun,
Pregnancy, when will you pregnancy? When will you bear a seed? When will you born for me? Kini tomorrow, baby mommy. What is the meaning of baby daddy? I want to be grandmother, or is it that you want to punish me? My dear, I am not getting any younger. And I fear that you no longer even care about your aging mother, since you're too busy for me. It's true. Now that you are finished with your school, give me grandchildren now. Always working 9 to 5, Madam Dolly Party. You these children of today, what's the happen? What's the happen? Use that your womb. At your age, how old are you now? 20 something, Abby. You plan on bearing children at what age? Will you keep quiet? Will you keep quiet?
And because I grew up with my parents speaking Yoruba to us and to themselves, we picked it up. Not as well as I wish, because I really wish that they were like intentional about teaching us the language as opposed to us being just kind of like just picking it up as we went along. I wish that, it was a bit more intentional. But either way, Sha, we're here. But it was because I grew up with my parents, and obviously the language, the change in language and the context of language from, coming from a country where it's predominantly, obviously, Yoruba is what people are speaking in, Lagos, Abeokuta, which is where I'm from. And then going to where English, and then starting to understand like the difference like in languages and stuff like that even more, right? Especially through like the education system when you're learning more and more about language, right? It just made things so much more fun and language so much more colorful, right? And so that is something that has never left me. From that one day where that guy, I forgot, I don't even remember, I would not be able to tell you what that man looked like. I do not know who that is. That man could have walked right past me, and I'm sorry to that man. Sorry to that man. I love Kiki. Kiki Palmer. Oh my gosh, she is such a personality. Anyways, so that's why I really focused on language, and I just kind of made it my own. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't want, when I'm writing my poetry, my spoken word, etc., I didn't want it to feel derivative. I didn't want it to feel like pretentious in the sense that, when people think of poetry, it's very, oh, shall I compare thee to a summer's day, for thou art more fruitful? Babes. No, the kind of poetry I was talking about is making people laugh, is bringing communities together, like it's talking about things in a way that my intended audience are going to understand, right? And fortunately, I've been able to, create pieces and write pieces that everyone can see the value in and the humor in and, you know, like the love in and the entertainment in, you know? So, you know, like during COVID, which is when I started all of this, it was something that came about just the true story behind how I became like the kind of writer that I am is because I think it was during GCSEs, when we were doing poetry anthologies, I came across a poem by Benjamin Zephaniah. May he rest in peace. He was actually also a lecturer at my university, Brunel. And I went to a lecture that he was hosting just to meet him because he had such a massive impact on my writing, right? So I came across, we were analyzing this poem by Benjamin Zephaniah. And it literally shifted my perspective. It changed my mind. And I want to talk about, you know, like my love for, you know, like poetry and, you know, like my craft and stuff like that. I'll do that in like a more dedicated episode. But I came across that poem, and the way, if you're familiar with Benjamin Zephaniah's work, Benjamin Zephaniah is a poet, activist. He's a Rastafarian poet, activist, and intellectual and actor as well. He was in Peaky Blinders, love Peaky Blinders. He was in Peaky Blinders. And when I came across his poem, he wrote, obviously, in patois. Up until then, I had never conceived of poets writing in patois. It was just one of those things that was like, when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, of course there were other ways of writing. And so that's why education is so important. Education is so important. Expanding your understanding of the world is so important. Teachers are so important. My English teachers, I have such a special place in my heart for my English teachers. Mr. Barr, Miss Wilkinson, Miss Dolman. We had a very interesting relationship with Mrs. Dolman and Miss Wilshire Wright. Those 4 teachers had such massive impact on me. And they nurtured my love. They saw that they could identify that I really was engaged and really interested in, you know, English language, English literature, etc. And they really helped nurture that, you know. And so shout out to all the English teachers. Everyone has that one English teacher. Let me know the name of your favorite English teacher in the comments and share stories of them, because you actually never know. Like, I do not think teachers get nearly enough credit for, you know, the impact that they can have. Good teachers that really care about students, you know, they don't get enough credit for the impact that they have. They have had massive impacts on me, right? Round of applause for English teachers. If you're an English teacher watching this, I love you. And the thing is, when I put out my pieces, I genuinely had English teachers and students telling me that they were studying and they used my poetry, my poems, as reference points in their essays and in their assignments, and that touched my heart so much. Like, I had English teachers telling me that they were using my work to like connect with children, and that is something I definitely want to double down on, right? So today has been so fun. Just make sure that you are subscribed. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Okay? Thank you for joining me, Auntie Sade. Under all of this is Sayo. And I know the whole thing is very convincing, but it's me, it's Sayo. It's me. Okay, cool. Make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure you're subscribed, comment, share, like all that good stuff. And also, I want to open a dilemma section. I think that'd be so fun. Wouldn't you like to see Auntie answering some of your dilemmas and questions for you? So send in your dilemmas to sayosays@gmail.com or send it to @Sayo Says Show DMs on Instagram so that we can get dilemmas going. That would be fun, wouldn't it, my dear? And then it can be like an agony aunt section. That'd be so fun. Anyways, I've talked for long enough. I'm getting signal from my producer to wrap it up. Thank you so much, Manny, my beautiful, beautiful producer. Say hello, Manny. Hi. You can't see her. You might not even be able to hear her, but she's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode. I'm going to leave you with this message. One thing that Sayo says. Sayo says, show up as your authentic self. And your culture is something that adds to you that cannot be taken away from you. It's there. It's there. Embrace it. Hold it. Squeeze it. Oh, yeah. Squeeze it. Hold on tight to it. It's fun. That's what Sayo says, baby. Love you. Kisses. Be good. Go and call your mom. Call your mom. Call your mom. It's been too long since you called your mom. Call your mom. You have been listening to Sayo Says. Have you heard what Sayo says? Whether she's sitting down by herself or with her friends, that's what Sayo says. Let's give it up. Whoa. Yeah. That was so fun.